Hi, I'm Steve Shelburne, owner and operator of Shelburne RV here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. Well, good morning. Monday again. Lewis and I have got a 2006 Winnebago Journey that came in with a basement air not cooling correctly. So I'll take you around. We've kind of diagged it a little bit here so I can kind of show you what's going on. I do have about 6.5 amps on both compressors. So let me show you kind of what we found out. I'm gonna turn this around. So we've got the back opened up here, and with all the good amp draws we've got, look what we got going on here. All this is blowed out. See how that's moving inside there? And so all that air is escaping right here. So basically we're air conditioning the outside of this camper. Now Lewis is going to come in here and pull this panel off, and we're going to pull this panel off because remember that ductwork runs up the back here and then it splits. There's actually a Y, and then when it gets up here you have two going across the ceiling. So we're going to verify that this ductwork in here is not blowed out. But yeah, right here you can see all that air is being blowed right out here in the outside. So we're gonna get that taped up and then retest. Well, good morning. We're working on a big Fusion toy hauler here that went through a tornado, had some roof damage on the roof, and the water actually got down inside this thing. And so you can see there's two slides missing in this thing. And so we've got to start with all this. Now we've got the idling loose, so we're gonna pull it out. So we've got to go in here and resolve all this on the floor. Fix all this, and then we're going to put down some new LVP on the floor, and then put the sink and all back in. And then both slides actually had water damage to the actual floors on the slides, so we got to go in there and rebuild those, and then of course gets a roof. So quite a bit of work going on here on this one. Going to keep them busy for a while, but yeah, refrigerator's out of it, couches are out of it. You can see the slides are sitting down there waiting to be worked on. So yeah, I got quite a bit going on. So as we get going on it, I'll kind of show you guys some more of what's happening. Take a look at this big fifth wheel. So the boys have got the floor resolved in this big fifth we're working on. Let's go over here and take a quick look at this. They're actually in here laying the LVP flooring. Now that we've got the small hole that was underneath the kitchen slide resolved, they're actually in here now laying all the LVP flooring. Yeah, they got that they're working on. This big slide you see right here has actually got major floor problems in it. So it wasn't as bad as that other one, but it's got problems. So we've got to go in there and resolve that. It's going to get a new floor in the bottom of it. So anyways, we'll show you more as we get more done. Well, good morning. So we're out here working on a 2000 model Winnebago Journey. Mr. Lewis is taking a look at it. Now we've actually got it to run on our test box. Somebody previous to us had already been working on the control board. They had a bunch of the wiring just mangled, had some odd capacitors in there, so I went ahead and changed all that out. You can see this big Fusion still in here being worked on. Let's go over here and take a look at this Fusion right quick since we're standing here. This is the one where they got both slides out and they're putting the floor in it. You can see that's starting to come along right there. Mr. Lewis over there working on that Winnebago. So let's go around and check all this stuff out and see what else we got going on. Mr. Lewis has got a mess load of wires down here. And of course, this was the capacitor that they had on there, so we're getting rid of that. That one there was a little iffy, so I went ahead and changed it. Mr. Lewis is actually in here changing one of the contactors right now. But we also found out that we have a problem with the indoor freeze sensor. So we're going to test this. We got a jumper on the freeze sensor, and then we're going to go in there in a second and If it runs, then we'll still have to pull the unit out to put a freeze sensor in it, because you can't do that without the unit being out. Here's the floor on that Fusion. You can see they've got this all finished up and ready to go back in, so that turned out real nice. Of course, you guys have seen us do this in previous videos. Got the corners bent, everything's tucked now, everything's sealed. No way the water's gonna get in there now. So that floor's gotta be done on that one next, but they're getting the flooring done in there and getting that done. So I'll show you a little bit more as we get into that. Okay, so I'm gonna show you this morning. This is the reason, guys, I always tell you, get an inspection done, whether it's by me or somebody else. I'm gonna take you around and show you this camper that this customer just purchased here not too long ago. Now, complaint is the rear slide has got a problem. Let me show you what's going on here. So the first thing I got up here and noticed was this right here. You can see this membrane is cut and that roof is gone. And if you look at the slide out, roof is gone there. We've got damage all the way up through here. Now, the first thing that should have been a red flag was somebody's been patching here, somebody's been patching here. And it only gets better as we go further forward. Somebody's been patching there, but I don't know what was going on right there. But this is why I always tell you guys, best thing to do is get an inspection, because I would have told this customer right off the bat not to buy this camper. There's a reason why this thing was for sale. So now I got to call him and have a nice long hard conversation about his camper, because there is lots and lots of damage to this. Besides, the floor is got problems inside there. Let me take you down there and show you that. Okay, so we can see right here, look at this. This is all gone, guys. This floor is gone. So the inside's no better. Let me show you what's going on here, because this is all should have been caught. All should have been caught in a pre-purchase inspection. Let's see, all the flooring's coming up right there. See how this is all gone. So yeah, this customer's got him a mess is what he's got. All right, so been making some progress on the big toy hauler here. See, they got the slide pretty much floor completely tore out of this thing. And you can see how bad this floor is. This thing's like rubber, look at that. So they've got the new floor over here, and they've got the metal now glued on. So that won't never happen again. And then they've got everything prepped as far as the new seal. Got the island back in it, got the flooring done. So heading in the right direction on that. Got to get the floor back in that thing, and then we're gonna go ahead and put slides in it. And then of course put all the regular stuff goes back in it. Got to get that done. So working on that. Trying to get my scissor lift all put together. So we're going to use that for a lot of the Class C's where we've got generators that we got to take out from underneath there, and it's real hard. Some of those things are so close to the ground, it's just terribly hard to get the generators out of there. And then I'm going to try to put we've got a black tank that's got to be changed out in a little bumper pull camper. So I'm going to try to put that up on there and see if I can get it up high enough where we can pull that black water tank out, because it's terribly low to the ground also. So I don't know, we're going to try that out and see what happens. But yeah, coming along on that. You saw this adventure the other day that Mr. Lewis was working on with the basement air, and we've got all that resolved. But it did have a bad pump motor on the HWH jack system. So Mr. Lewis, as you can see, and Mr. James are down there getting that changed out right now. So we got the new motor in fairly quick on that. And then I've got this big bounder right here on an Oshkosh chassis that we've got to wash the roof on and do sealant job on there. And then I've got a bad solenoid on the disconnect side for the engine. I've got to take care of that. So working on that. And then I've got this camper over here. I've got a Lance bumper pull. I want to take you in here and let you look at this because I thought this was silly, but I want to show it to you. Hold on. Okay, so this Lance we're working on, we were taking all the fascia off, and this is what we got. A piece of foam. And so they actually had gone on here and just glued the crap out of this thing when they put it together. And so we ended up, I mean, it's just a piece of foam that they have machined out, and we've ended up breaking just about every piece of this fascia to get off here. Now I'm hoping that I can go in here and glue this, and then when we put it up here with the nails and all the other stuff, I mean, it looks pretty dang good. You can't even see hardly the crack right there. But yeah, this is a low cost at its finest right here. Can't even mill that out of a piece of pine. They got to mill it out of a piece of foam and then glue the crap out of it. So yeah, that's good times. That's a good challenge to try to fix that. So more as we go. Okay, so Lewis and I are working on a 2004 Winnebago Vetra with the basement air. I actually opened it up. Evidently they had somebody else working on it, and they actually had the outdoor fans swapped with the compressor wires on zone 1. So we've got that straightened out, but I want to show you a couple things that's going on with this. Let's go take a look. Okay, so Lewis has got this all hooked up. Now what we're going to do is, this is contactor 1, this is contactor 2. So Lewis is going to go ahead and get an amp draw off of contactor 1, which is compressor 1. And you can see we got 3.7 amps. Here in just a second, outdoor fan's going to cut out and compressor 2 is going to kick on. Go ahead and put you on compressor 2 there, Lewis. Okay, there goes the outdoor fan. Compressor 2 just came on. Outdoor fan came back on. So we've got 6 amps on compressor 2. Let's go back to compressor 1, Mr. Lewis. All right, and we've got 3 amps on compressor 1. So this tells a very good story about what's going on in here. And I've already got some heat building right here from compressor 2, but I've got nothing down here on compressor 1. And you can actually start to see kind of the change in the difference of the coils. But this tells us the compressor 1 has no Freon in it. So we're actually gonna have to go in here and we're gonna pull this out, and then we're gonna we'll go in here and we'll actually pressurize it up with 300 pounds of nitrogen and see if we can determine where the leak's at. But that's what's going on here. We've got no charge. Now that we've got all the wiring fixed, we've got no charge in zone 1. So we're gonna pull that out and take a look. Okay, so we've got this basement air pulled apart. Remember yesterday we only had 3 amps on the number 1 compressor. So this thing was filthy. It was caked in mud. The drain in here was so bad that it was just absolutely flooded. Nothing going on there. So I have got the looking this morning. Now I moved this since I opened it up, but this was up, this charge tube, which you can see was crimped off from the factory. It was up into the outside coil, but I did figure out where the leak was coming from. If you look right there, I've actually moved this, and you can see where the wear is on that compressor right there. This was actually up against there rubbing, and it's rubbed a hole in it. Now I'm going to go ahead and put 300 pounds of nitrogen in this thing, and then just to verify, but that's more than likely what's going on. So we're going to get a tap in it and see what we got. Okay, so I basically came in here and cut this tube out because it's so far up against this compressor right here, it's going to be difficult to get that brazed up good. You can kind of see there's where our issue was at. So I did go ahead and put my tap in there, right there. I did pressurize it up. It did come from there. Now I'm going to go ahead and fix this and then braze it back in, and then we'll retest with the nitrogen. Okay, so I got that swelled, ready to go back in. Same thing with that one. So we're gonna go ahead and braze this in, and then we're gonna recheck with some nitrogen to see what we got. All right, so we got the nitrogen bottle hooked up to it, and right now I've got 200, right at 200, a little under. We can add just a little bit here. A smidgen over 200. So put some leak detector on here. Got that checked where we fixed that. checking around here, and then we're gonna let it sit for about 30 minutes or so, just to verify that we don't have any leaks. And then if we're good, we're gonna go ahead and put some Freon in this thing. Okay, so Lewis and I have got the basement air back in this Winnebago. We did find out that we had a bad thermostat. So when we were running this, and this had the original thermostat in that, when we were running it in here, we weren't getting any zone 2 compressor. So check the 9-pin plug. The thermostat was actually not calling for that. Let me show you something that we've seen in these thermostats. It's been a problem over the years. Let me take you inside. So something that we found out on these thermostats over the years, if you see the switch right here, if you pull that off, there's actually 2 switches on here, zone 1, zone 2. Well, what we find out over the years, and this is the original thermostat that was in this, I know this because the new thermostat only comes with a 9-pin and a 3-pin. The old thermostat here actually had 4-pin. So we've got to cut the old plug off and put it on to the new thermostat. But what we have found over the years is all the years of moving this thing back and forth from cold to fan to heat, what happens is see how this thing is moving just a little bit right here? Kind of moving sideways right there. So as the years of moving this back and forth, what happens is it wears out the switch, and so then you don't get your zone 2. Sometimes the zone 1 goes bad also, but typically that's what ends up happening. So bad thermostat, updated to the new style. Mr. Lewis is over here getting the screws all tightened back up. Obviously we only had a white thermostat for that. And then you can see this is the original 4-pin. The new thermostat obviously had 3 pins, so we changed that and just wired in to there. So good to go now. So we're just doing the final test run on here. Thermostat said it was 89 degrees in here. He's had this running now for about 3 or 4 minutes. It's down to like 76. So we'll give it our 30-minute trial and see what we got. All right, so we got this gentleman with the Vectra all finished up. We did the test again this morning. 85 degrees in the camper. We had about 64 coming out the vent, so I was tickled to death with that. So another happy customer with his big Winnebago basement air, and he was actually from the Boston area. So shout out to all the people from the Boston area. Need your basement air fixed, this is the place to get it done. Obviously brought his trailer with him so him and his family members could ride in the camper all the way down and back. So got him finished up. He's heading back, gonna be heading back here very shortly. So we're gonna go back up on the hill. I've got that one done, so let's go up there. But I think we're gonna stop by the showroom. I'm gonna show you a couple things in here. GN's been doing some rearranging in here on the showroom. But let's go in here and check that out, and I'll let you see what's happening down here in the showroom. So, been in here doing some rearranging, as you can see. So, now she's got this opened up. She's got all of her parts, and then we actually brought in our 1967 little gem, and we'll set that up here. We've got a few things we're gonna kind of showcase right there, and then this is one thing that I kind of left up here. This is Mr. Sid's old charging board. This is where it all kind of began with the recharging of the ammonia and the cooling units. So we're gonna leave that up, set that over here by the old 67, kind of showcase some of the work that we do. But yeah, she's been busy in here trying to get shelving moved around, and she's actually got some new shelving. Still waiting on some of the paneling and stuff like that hasn't come in. But yeah, kind of expanding into here a little bit, kind of give you guys a few more parts and kind of see what we do here. Well, good morning. Here a little bit early this morning. I gotta get a few of my maintenance projects done, try to beat the heat a little bit. It's been terribly hot, and this is one of my problems right here. And then over here on this side of my ditch, that's another one of my problems. So again, this is the part of the RV technician that I get to do maintenance work first thing in the morning. So usually building maintenance or property maintenance, I get here early, try to take care of some of that stuff. So I'm gonna get my bush hog hooked up on my excavator this morning and see if I can get some of the weeds under control. So just the way it goes some days. Well, getting close to 8 o'clock. You can see right there the boys are starting to roll in. So I got quite a bit of that done. But as Jen would tell me right now, playtime's over. So I'm gonna have to go in here and I got a snow cone wagon in here we started working on yesterday. Cummins generator's blowed up in it. It's got a 4 kW. Of course, there's still 46 weeks from even being able to get us a generator. So she just needs something to run her air conditioner. So they went out and bought them a Honda generator. So we're actually building a rack for that. It'll slide in and out where they can fuel it. Just trying to help this lady get some air in there because it's been real hot out here selling snow cones. And she said it's been over 100 degrees, 104, 105 degrees inside a snow cone wagon. So we're gonna go up here in just a second. I'll show you that. You can see what we're doing on there and then a few other things. And we're gonna get wrapped up for the week. So let's go up on the hill and check a few things out. All right, so building the tray, got the tray built. Got on the roller slides there. So we're gonna get that installed and then we gotta get some 110 wired into it. But generator should sit right in there, and like I said, all she's going to be doing is running her air conditioner with that. So we've got everything, got all the slides back in this Fusion. Everything's pretty much done on the inside, but we still got a roof we've got to do on that one, so that's a roof replacement. Got this big wind sport in here right now that they're doing a Seal Tech test on, and then this big Ghost by Nexus you see right here. It's got a bad transfer switch. Transfer switch will partially pull in and then it stops. Now that Winnebago you see right there, that was the one a week or so ago that we did the basement air repair on. Well, he had problems with his Norcold 1200, so cousin Gary's actually in there right now doing a 1200 Norcold cooling unit on that one. So kind of getting moved through that one. This little KZ Connect you see over here in this bay, this had some underbelly problems. We're dealing with that. And then of course the Kona Ice one in the background you see. Let me take you over there and show you what Lewis has got done on them. Okay, so I said I was going to take you over there and show you the Kona Ice one, but it came at lunchtime and Lewis actually ended up breaking off a couple screws in that and it turned into a little bit of a pain. So he's got that all done. Actually, she's done picked up and gone with it. So Jen and I, say hi Jen. Her and I got a meeting we got to go up to right now, so trying to get our week finished up, but I'll take you back up here and show you a couple things they're working on. Well, and then just some days it's building maintenance. So I'm up here today trying to seal up a few roof leaks. So that's the part of the business you guys don't see is all the stuff I got to do on the side to keep the boys running. Mowing the ditches, keeping the grass cut, spraying, keeping the roofs from leaking. So it's all in a day's job some days, I guess. All right, well, that finishes us up this week here at Shelburne RV. Hope everybody enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and remember that this video is Cousin Gary approved.